My name is Molly Dayton, and first and foremost, I am a mom. And I'm also an entrepreneur, and my focus, well, just take a look at my license plate. MD, by the way, stands for Molly Dayton. Right now, everyone, let's just buckle up because I'm going to show you why this is the best place for you to be right now. And this is how I feel about this business. What a great career that we have. We are the natural hope leaders in our neighborhoods. We help people in 5 different ways: physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and then there's that last one, the one that we always seem to shy away from because we don't want to sound pushy, or maybe we don't want to come across salesy, we aren't good with numbers, or just even talking about the business because it doesn't come naturally to us. But in all reality, that last one, we help people financially. And that is why I came into doTERRA. When I came in, less than 5% of people came in for that same reason. If I ever said I came in for the business opportunity, I truly felt like I had the plague. Currently, about 6% of people come into this business for the business opportunity. Today, there is so much financial uncertainty. People are scrambling to make money, and many families need a second income to make it. 10 years ago, the median family of 4 income was $65,700. That was the national average. Now, if you're raising a family of 4 in 2026, you'll need to have a 6-figure income in 26 states. That's more than half of America. Well, you'll need to earn $100,000 or more annually to budget for and comfortably raise your family. In 2025, job market pay has largely failed to keep up with the rising cost of living, leading to a wage crisis where 73% of workers report struggling to make ends meet. This just is not mathing, folks. So in my opinion, that 5th way we help people, why aren't we making the 5th reason the number 1 reason? Or at least something that we talk about at every single oil meeting or every drop of oil that we put on someone. Because guess what? The statistics, they are on our side. People need money and they need doTERRA. I love money and I love numbers. Let me explain what I mean by that. When I first started out, I had no money. I have been on food stamps before. I've had $2.61 in my bank account. So when I saw doTERRA's compensation plan and heard a simple oil meeting, I literally was like, this is all I have to do? Over and over and over again, and I could make that much money? Sign me up. Okay, whoever said money doesn't buy you happiness, yes, it does. Money keeps the electricity on. Money buys me food. It would give me peace that all of my bills would get paid. And let's not forget, the more money you have, the more opportunities you have to bless so many people's lives, the bigger the impact that you can make. I love doTERRA for a million different reasons, but for the sake of time, I'm going to share 7 reasons with you today why I am so confident that doTERRA is the place that you can build your dreams. Here they are: our products, the market opportunity, the retention, our compensation plan, making an impact in our leadership, building a legacy, and last but not least, the community. The health and wellness industry that we are in, listen, it's a trend that is just gaining momentum. People are investing more than ever in their health. Health is the greatest wealth that we could pursue, and we as wellness advocates, that is why we do what we do. This is what lights us up. Once again, the natural hope leaders. When we talk about the product, let me get this drilled into you. I'm going to give you an example. Just like no one can change my faith in God, no one. It's what I believe to my core. My belief system is unwavering, and this is how we should feel about our product and also about our businesses. Unwavering, determined, and very proud to represent doTERRA. Why? Well, listen, we don't have to say we are one of the top essential oil companies. We don't even have to say we're number 2, so close to number 1. We are the world leader in essential oils. We should be unstoppable. We should welcome the challenge. You know why? Because we will win. Because we are the best. As I stand firm in my belief systems in my life, we need to stand just as firm in our conviction about doTERRA. I'm not going to spend much time on the products right now because we have entire classes for that, but I do want to say this. Purity matters, folks. If you don't believe me, listen to the man.
So the question is, what does pure mean? To me, it's you source the best, harvest, and distill. And once it's distilled, get out the kitchen. Don't add anything in the pot. You just let Chef Nature cook and you enjoy the dish.
I'm asked this continuously. We are 18 years old, so is the market saturated? Take a look at this map and screenshot this. I wanted to go a little bit deeper when I made this. Who is actually working the business? The metric I chose was that they had hit 400 personal growth volume 3 times this past year. People, all I can tell you, the field is ripe. It actually needs your leadership. Now let's take a look at Texas. Texas, where there's 30 million people. Do you realize Texas only has 40 leaders with 400 PGV? 40 to go over 30 million people. Louisiana, let's go there. 1 with 400 PGV. Okay, now who's going to move to Louisiana and get that moving? Now, I would expect Utah to be number 1 as this is where doTERRA was founded. But even with 3.5 million people in Utah, 3 million people, we still need to get hooked. Natural hope leaders, we got to get to work. If you look at this slide, 5 out of the top 10% are 10% or under. Now let's look at the lowest 10 states. Arkansas coming in at the highest of the lows at 3%. The other 9, they're sitting at 2%. Or how about Mississippi? I've already done the math for you. Out of 2.95 million people in Mississippi, 2.9 million haven't even experienced doTERRA. So only 47,000 use doTERRA. So once again, we need some natural hope dealers working over in Mississippi. If you want to make money, you want to be smart with the company you choose. There is a metric that people really just don't understand in the network marketing world. It's something called our retention rate. In our industry, the average retention rate is about 20%. So let me just make sure that you understand this. If I sign up 10 people today, then in the next year, if just 2 people buy just for 1 month, that would qualify for the 20% retention rate. That is what I like to say, churn and burn. Ours sits at 69% once a year ordering. But of course, let's set a higher standard for doTERRA because that's who we are. How about 59% of customers placed an order in at least 2 quarters and 46% placed in all 4 quarters last year? That's more than double of the industry average with their calculations based on once a year ordering. Nobody in our industry comes close to this type of retention. I don't think we understand the value of this number that we have going for us. People love our products. Let me pause and say this. Everyone on my team earned a paycheck during COVID. Let that sink in. While other companies were going out of business, getting laid off, paychecks being slashed, every wellness advocate that met the qualification got paid. It wasn't just my team. If this doesn't show you the power of our compensation plan, I don't know what else would. Thank goodness for our solid, well thought out compensation paired with our exceptional products. We were able to get a paycheck during the most tumultuous time in our lives. Not gonna lie, I love this slide. Let's compare doTERRA against another essential oil company that's in the top 2 of our industry. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about fast starts. We get 3 levels, they get 2. Not only that, they are capped on how much fast starts you can make. So can you imagine that? You make it, but you don't get as much as you're supposed to. Okay, let's go over to the power of 3 bonus that we have. We get it, they don't. Not only do we get that bonus, doTERRA even gives us a bonus with options to boost it all the way up to $1,750 a month. That's just one bonus. All right, now let's talk about the unilevel. This is huge. We get paid down 7 levels. They get paid down 5 levels. Our levels start at 3% and increase to 7% on the 7th level, where theirs starts at 8% and decreases to 4%. I want you to understand this very clearly. If you have 100 people on your 7th generation, would you want to get paid 7%? Or wait, they don't even get paid down to the 7th generation. On their 5th generation, they get paid 4%. The numbers here are clearly mathing in favor for doTERRA, hands down. All right, the last category, volume requirements, which means even if you hit the rank quite efficiently with your volume, you would also have to have more organizational volume in order to hit that rank. If you take a look, it takes 36,000 in volume to hit a diamond with doTERRA, but with the other company, even if you have all the volume placed in the correct legs for the structure for that diamond position, you still need volume at least 250,000. Okay, let me math that for you. That is 7 times the volume required to hit diamond. This chart right here isn't just a list of ranks. It's really a roadmap of possibilities. Every person who builds in doTERRA starts at the exact same place, but where they go from there is really determined by their vision, their consistency, and their willingness to lead. As your impact grows and you help more people improve their health and create opportunity, your business grows right along with it. This isn't about climbing a corporate ladder someone else controls. It's about building something of your own, where the only true limit is the size of the dream that you're willing to pursue. Another reason why you want to be partnered with doTERRA. doTERRA cares so deeply about social impact. We have heard experiences over and over again how we uplift individuals, families, and different communities. I want to share one of my favorite stories about our co-impact efforts. Over in Haiti, the women have to walk an hour and a half down a dirt path road to the watering hole, collect the water, walk an hour and a half back to their village, only to get back and have to then boil the water for the day. And they have to do this every single day. So doTERRA comes in and they provide and built a water system. So on the day that they were ready to turn on that little spigot where the water will start flowing, there was a long line of Haitians with all of their plastic buckets, and they were arguing in line. So when doTERRA went over to find out what they were arguing about, they thought when they would turn on the spigot, they would get water for the day. What they didn't realize is when they would turn on that little spigot, that water was going to flow for the rest of their lives and change their lives forever. Remember, as we grow and we have more sales, we aren't just helping our individual families. We are literally helping hundreds of thousands of families around the world. Hundreds of thousands of lives are affected and counting that are being impacted by doTERRA. Don't forget, we build schools and hospitals, wells for water, hygiene kits, and seriously, the list could just go on and on. We're committed to fair and transparent pay, safe and respectful working conditions, and sourcing practices that support communities. Do you know in some sourcing regions, farmers have seen an increase in their income, sometimes even up to 5 times what they were earning before. I didn't say that wrong. 5 times. Guess who loves and is loyal to doTERRA? Our farmers. I'm grateful that our founders focused on certain principles, being debt-free and also not going public. How grateful I am that doTERRA is privately held. It's not owned by a private equity firm. No third-party investors, which makes all the difference in the world because they are not beholden to shareholders. Shareholders look at the bottom line, but they don't look at the people in the field doing the work. They do what's best for them, although we are the ones bringing in the sales. They are in it for the money, But you might say, well, isn't doTERRA also in it for the money? Okay, let me give you one example that's always stuck with me. One of our original founders, Corey Lindley, once talked about how we sourced our oils. We could go with huge corporations or the biggest farms, but we don't. Do you realize we have farmers that have 5-acre plots? Corey chuckled and said, now that is not the most efficient way to do business. But because we care, we do it the right way, over and over again. Let me add, in my 13 years of doTERRA, I have never felt so assured in doTERRA. What I mean is I feel like corporate doTERRA is dialed in, partnering with field leaders. Industry expert Eric Worre made a profound statement about doTERRA, saying that we are a legacy company. This is what he said to our presidential diamond, Susan Johnson, in a strategy session with other top earners across different companies. Eric Worre said to Susan, do you understand the caliber of company you're with? You are with a legacy company. Your owners, your product, your compensation plan, your stability, it's built to last. You're partnered with a legacy company. He then looked at everyone else and said, most of you have not. There are very few legacy companies in the network marketing space. That's why it gets a bad rap. Many of you will climb to the top of your company, it will then shut down, and then you'll go to the next. Then he turned to Susan and reiterated, but you are with a legacy company. Anyone who has the opportunity to build to any level of success with doTERRA should never consider stopping. Don't you dare get distracted. This is the smartest place for you to be. That was definitely a mic drop moment. I couldn't end without mentioning this community. Where in the world do you get an instant family, all focused on the same mission? You do realize that we as distributors, we are a rare breed. We are intense, we're passionate, we're persistent, we are full of purpose. We believe we can change the world because you know what? We are. 80+ million donated to date with thousands of job providing, but bigger than that, like I said before, so many lives impacted and growing. My best friends are in doTERRA. My team, my crossline friends, every single leadership, every convention, every hug, it just feels like a family reunion. All of you leaders, I rely so heavily on. We are each other's lifeline. How do I see my future? Well, we are a multi-billion, not million, billion-dollar company. We have solutions for everyone in your home. I always like to say, as long as there's grandmas and grandpas and mamas and babies, there will always be a need for our product. When I first started this journey, my goal was simple. I wanted to earn an income and I create financial stability for my family. But over time, as I grew and gained a deeper understanding of this opportunity, my vision expanded far beyond money. It became about legacy. I want to build something that allows me to shine my light, to serve others, and make a meaningful difference in the world. I believe the more we are blessed with, the greater the responsibility becomes to lift those around us. My hope is that through the resources created in this business, I can help people, care for those in need, and use what I have been given to bring comfort, opportunity, and hope. doTERRA has been and continues to be the vehicle that allows me to live that purpose and let my life so shine. At the end of the day, people don't just join a business, they follow belief. And if you felt even the slightest spark today, please don't ignore it. I felt that same spark once, and instead of looking away, I chose in, and I am so grateful I did. It has changed my life forever. This isn't just about whether this opportunity works. It's about whether you're ready to step into it. You can keep doing what you've always done, or you can choose something bigger. We have the products, we have the tools, we have the system, but most important is you. So ask yourself, what do you want the next chapter to look like? Take that chance. I did, and I have never looked back.